Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Okay, so today we're going to be going through my makeup collection again and um show going through what I like, what I love, and what I only like. Um and this is going to be a two-parter. So some of the things are going to repeat. But other than that, yeah. Alright. So let's get started with eyes. So this concealer that I'm using today is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Full Wear Concealer in the shade Ivory. I love this stuff. I have in here already. I love this stuff. This is such a great concealer. It does not clog pores because it has silicate acid in it, which is a actually a pore cleaner. It helps with acne, so it doesn't clog pores. Um, so this is such a great product. So I'm just uh and I still can't find my makeup wipe, so I'm kind of just leaving the mistakes and cleaning up as I go. And I'm almost out of this concealer, so nice. It's a nice concealer. So using my Camo Concealer Sponge, and this is going to be my under eye concealer as well, because I don't have any. Or, yeah, I don't have any, because the one that I'm using for my face underneath my foundation is way too bright for that area, which is funny. They're both, the L'Oreal and the other one's both ivory, and one's lighter than the other. So, forget how that works. So like I said, I'm almost out of this product. And I got 4 more e.l.f. products to use up before I don't use e.l.f. products a lot. Which I only have 5 e.l.f. products in this video right now. So. And oh, I forgot to tell you which brush I'm using. I'm using the EcoTools Accent Shadow Brush. So this is a nice brush for concealer. And they're building a deck out there, so it's gonna get pretty loud, and I'm sorry. But this is such a nice brush. So it is a nice brush. I didn't like it when I tried it with eyeshadow one time. I didn't like it quite with eyeshadow, but I like it with concealer, so it's a concealer brush now. Not a shadow brush. It's an accent concealer brush. Personally for me. Okay. So we're gonna give that a few minutes to dry down. And while we're letting that dry down, we're going to talk about the next product, which is the Physicians Formula Mineral Wear 3-in-1 Setting Powder. So you have your set powder, your bake powder, and your brightening powder, which you can use these powders alone because they're all setting powders, or you can mix them together. So you can mix a set and the bright together, or the set and the bake, or the bake and the bright. Or you can use just the set, just the brightening, just the baking. So I'm going to use a little bit of the set part, the set powder, which is this white powder here, and my Real Techniques setting brush, which next Saturday after work I'm going to work on cleaning my brushes for Sunday. And because this is a mineral powder, and if you like clean off the fallout, there's not a lot of powder left. I like to just load my brush with powder. Okay. So, whatever set powder I have left. Ouch. Didn't break it though. I'm gonna put it back into its spot, and it will be used later on. This is a great powder. I like it. I don't know if I love it yet. So, next couple products. So first we're gonna do eyeliner to get that out of the way. So we're gonna use this gel eyeliner. I only like the gel eyeliner. I don't love it. It's not a bad product. It's just hard to work with every once in a while. And I'm using my Real Techniques lip smudge brush. This is now a eyeliner smudge brush. Until this product is used up, and then it's nothing. It's just an extra brush. So we're gonna warm the eyeliner up by kind of swirling the brush around. I really need to find those makeup brushes. I just found them. A little bit harder to work with this brush. But it definitely works. This brush definitely works for it. So I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go get the makeup wipes, and then we can continue. Alrighty, so we have got the makeup wipes. Alright, I need a little more product. Okay. said, this product's hard to work with this brush. Just a little bit. It's not too bad, honestly. I'd just rather have my old brushes. So now we're going to get a makeup wipe. We're going to clean the under eyes off. Because I made quite a few mistakes underneath my eyes. One of them being that eyeliner. Then we're going to put it back in to keep it wet. And then we're going to do the other eye. So the reason I don't like full on push on my eye, for one, your eyes are sensitive. And for two, train's going by. And for two, it works better just kind of flicking it for me. I don't know how gel eyeliner works for you guys, if you have to push. If you watch me do my eyeliner with the e.l.f. ones too, you'll notice that I barely push down. I barely push down and everything. I just kind of flick with that as well. Even though that's a little bit softer, I still do that just because of the fact sorry. Just because of the fact that I'm used to just flicking. I've always done that with my eyeliner. Unless I'm doing it in my waterline. If I'm doing it in my waterline, I go back and forth, but I do not press. I just kind of let it fall. Okay. So now, we're going into the L'Oreal La Palette Nude. Think we're gonna do Lady Butterfly today. So, yeah, we're gonna do Lady Butterfly today. Maybe. I'm trying to think. Yes, we're gonna do Lady Butterfly today, which is this fourth one right here. Sorry, it paused on me. Okay, so this palette here, I do The mirror's coming out. Or no, not the mirror, the plastic part here. Anyways, I do love this palette. This palette's great for like everyday looks if I wanted to do everyday looks with it. It's a little bit bulky for travel, which I would prefer something to travel with, but I do have eyeshadow palettes I can travel with. So that's great. So like I said, we're doing Lady Butterflies. So really quickly, we're going to go into this crease brush here. And we're going to do number 6. We're not going to do any lightning or anything today because we're doing a different look. We're not doing a look that we're creating. I'm not going to do it, but so this does have a mirror with it too, so I'm not going to use the one out of the bronzer. I'm going to use this one. And we're going into the 6th shade. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one right here. You can see my finger. So we're okay. So now this goes above the pupil, so it does not go on the lid. It goes on right here. Essentially in the crease, on the crease. We will blend as we go along to blend any harsh lines, anything like that. So yeah, essentially above the pupil essentially means the crease and a little bit above. So like that. So I got my e.l.f. blending eye brush. And I'm holding it pretty far back. I'm kind of resting my fingers on it. If you can see here, I'll turn around. Like I said, we're just getting rid of any harsh lines. Alright, so then going back into the crease brush, going back into the 6th shade to do the other side. And it does require you to put this shade on the bottom lash line as well. I'm not gonna do that. Um, I'm not gonna do that today. I barely even put it on my bottom lash line. So why would I start now? I mean, eventually I will start. Don't get me wrong, eventually I will start putting it on my bottom lash line. Or just blending that out again. I mean, don't get me wrong, eventually I'll start doing it. And I know that I was gonna do a horror Halloween theme this year, but I don't think I'm going to. Um, so not this year, but I definitely will next year. Alright, so now we're using this flat top brush here. So we're going into the 5th shade for the inner corner to the middle. And then for the outer lid, we go into the 8th shade. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the one right before the 6th shade is the shade we're going into for the inner corner. So if you notice, I'm holding it pretty close to the middle and stamping it on. Same thing with the other side. Stamping it on. Alright, so now the 8th shade. So this shade right here is the shade we're going into for the outer portion. Okay. Now we're going to blend both these shades just a quick blend. Alright. So now eyes are done. So now I'm just taking what I have left, what I can use on the makeup wipe, and wiping my whole face with it to kind of clean up my face. Okay. And I can also wipe my hands with the primers. So let me get all my primers together. Alright. So first primer I feel like I can use up today or Tuesday I'll shoot more Tuesday though. It's the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer with 4% niacinamide. I don't know if I'll be able to use it up today or Tuesday. I mean, if, I get done with this, and there's still enough left that I can use it Tuesday. Then I got my answer. But if there's only a tiny bit left, I'm going to call it quits on it, which means essentially I'm just going to put it in the empties box, which I keep forgetting to put what I've used up in my list. So, what I'm gonna do after this tutorial today, before I post it, I don't know, I might post it and then just do it on the phone. So I've used it today. And I'm gonna say Tuesday is the day I use it up. Maybe. So now we're gonna let that sit and get tacky. Pretty much activate the grip. I can feel some wetness. Or it wasn't blended all the way. Alright. So I'm gonna use the and I love the e.l.f. Power Grip primers. They're great. They actually do help makeup last longer. Anyways, I'm going to use the e.l.f. Poreless Face Primer everywhere but my cheeks. Then I'm going into a little bit of the Maybelline Baby Skin on my cheeks. Okay. So the e.l.f. Poreless Face Primer. I love this stuff. I just wish it didn't break me out. Because if, it didn't break me out, it'd break a really great primer. Know what I mean? So we're gonna go around the nose and everywhere but my cheeks. Know what I mean? Like, it really would be a great primer. For me, so this sucks because it's like and this sucks because it's like the putty primers don't do it. And the reason that you use this all over the face and you don't use this all over the face is this not only fills in pores, it fills in fine lines. So like your laugh lines here. And like if you have like fine lines and wrinkles, you're like in your like late 30s. So it'd be great. Alright. Great primer. Wish it didn't break me out. Same with the Maybelline one. It's a great primer. It just breaks me out. So now we're going into the brush part. And honestly, I don't think you guys followed the way I do it, which is fine. This is just like tips and tricks that I find useful for me because it actually helps blend it into my skin better than just relying on my fingers and it just sit on my skin. It doesn't even absorb. Well, it does eventually, but this just helps it absorb faster. So now I'm going into a little bit of the baby skin onto where I have visible pores on my cheeks. So right there. Um, but like I said, this also breaks up my face. Not as bad as the elf one does, but it still does. And the reason for that is the elf one goes all over the face, so any pores that I have on the face that's not visible, it fills those in too. So it's like I have no pores whatsoever showing. But then sorry, can't think now. What was I trying to say? Oh, but then it like breaks out my whole face. Whereas the Maybelline one, it only breaks out the areas I have to put it, so only on my cheeks. But I do love this primer. It does a good job. Just wish these two didn't break out my skin like they do. Alright, so this next primer actually is a silicone primer, but it doesn't break out my skin or irritate my skin like most silicone primers do. It's the Neutrogena Prep and Correct Redness Correcting Primer. I love this stuff. This is great for redness that you have on your face. And it just feels so smooth when you apply it. I'm only applying a little bit to the, that's a little too much. A little bit to the areas that I need it. Even though it's a not really mattifying primer. but it does work as a mattifying primer. Um, but this is great. I love it. I can't wait to use it up to be able to get more and get a different one. Actually, I'm probably gonna get either the tone correcting one or the brightening one. But it definitely is great. What the fuck? I said it's good. Oh my god. I can't. Like I said, this just helps. This brush just helps blend it in. So, now that I'm essentially all matte and stuff, now we're going into two glowy primers. The first one being the e.l.f. Whoa Glow. I do love, 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 love this stuff. This has SPF in it. So it's great for like on its own as well. Because you have your SPF that you need every day. I wear SPF every day because I don't go outside all the time. I mean, whether you're going outside or not, you do need that SPF. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, yeah. It's beautiful. It can get a little greasy feeling. After like blend it in really well. That goes away, but it can feel pretty greasy. I guess it does have glitter in it. I thought this didn't have glitter in it. I guess it does. But yeah. It does have glitter in it, so. So I guess you can't see the glitter until you put it on the face. Because when coming out of the tube, it doesn't look like it has glitter in it. But then you blend it onto the face, and guess what? It has glitter. So now this makeup wipe is done. Alright. So now we're going into the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter in the shade One Fair. This one, we're just going to go here with it, there, and right here. So we're gonna do a little highlighting on my T-zone. Just a little bit of highlighting on the T-zone. for that pre-highlighted look before we use a full cream highlighter. And I love both of these glow products. They're so beautiful on the skin. The shade for this Halo Glow is a little off. You need to go one shade up, one shade lighter. But they didn't have the one shade lighter. When I had originally bought this, they had came out with the extra shades a few months ago, I think. So now we're gonna do face concealer, the pre-face concealer. I can find it. I think I forgot it. Hold on. I'm gonna look in my box and see if I forgot to get it out. Be right back. I did forget to get it out. It's the Hard Candy Lemaflage Pro Full Coverage Concealer. And it helps brighten skin. Okay. So, this is going to be an all over thing. Whereas the Maybelline that I'm going to go in with later is going to be only on the T-zone. Alright. And I have the shade Ivory. So, this product I only like, so I've only used it a couple times. And this is definitely full coverage, so you gotta be careful. I'm using my e.l.f. Camo Concealer Sponge to blend it out. See how full coverage it is? I mean, it did kind of lose its coverage a little bit as I blended it out. But it wasn't too bad. It's not too bad. I mean, you can't really see any of my problem areas. That's good. Other side. So I don't know if this is going to be a repurchase. But we will see how I like it. Will I keep using it? And I mean, it is going to be covered up anyways. But it is still going to show through. So the applicator is kind of a little awkward. if you look at it, it's kind of awkward. But the applicator works. This concealer works for this isn't about being all over concealer, like a full face concealer. Once I use the other two up. We got this. Alright. Clean my hands off. So, it's nice. So, I'm not sure if I want to do underpainting because of this foundation, but I am stippling it on. I'm not full blown putting it on, so I'll do some underpainting. Oh well, I'll do some underpainting. So I had lost my contour brush, but I'm still going into the Rimmel London Stay Matte Concealer in the shade Espresso. And I'm just gonna use, I'm gonna use this one. What one will I use? I'll use my stippling brush. No, actually, yeah, I will. So it's gonna look a little weird. So I'm stippling it instead of, I mean, I guess I stipple it when I use the contour brush too. This is a little bit different. Stippling. And I love the white background with all of this because I just love the contrast that this is giving. Okay. So, now, aside from the brush, okay, I like this concealer. This is a great concealer for a contour. Now, would it be a great concealer for the under the eyes? I'm not for sure. I feel like one of these times I should just do one side of my face and then show you how I got that look. Don't know how well you'd like that. I'm gonna try it anyways. One of these days when I don't have work. So, now we're going to do the but I do love this concealer, or not love, like it. It's a great concealer for contouring. It actually works a little bit better than actual contour, like that contour wand I had. Works a little bit better than that. But I'm still getting the contour wand. And this brush actually blends the contour out better so there's no lines. Unlike the contour brush that still had lines a little bit. Alright, so now we're going into blush, which is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Beauty Blush Wand. It's only this one today. It's not both the wand and the putty blush. So I'm going to talk about the putty blush next time. So I love this blush, especially this shade. The shade's really pretty. It does dry down pretty fast for what I would prefer. But other than that, it's really pretty. It works wondrous. And my sponge is all covered in blush. But it works. Blush and highlighter. Okay. So this blush is great, especially the shade. The shade works on its own and as a topper shade. I just sometimes prefer it as a topper shade. Just me. Anyways, next is the L'Oreal Lumi Glotion. This thing. I have it in the shade Fair Glow. This product I love as well. Like, let me shake it up better. Like, it goes over the blush so well. I'm flicking it down with the brush, but it goes over the blush so well. The blush still shows through, especially when I take the sponge to the highlighter afterwards to give me a highlighted look without giving me a highlighted look. It just takes some of the highlight down, and it looks so much better that way. And the blush still shows through, so it's like great in that sense too. It just makes a beautiful contrast between blush and highlighter. So I gotta shake it one more time so I can get my forehead done. This thing is almost gone. I can tell. But it works and it's great. And it definitely works as a highlighter. Okay. So now we're done with the underpainting. So let this dry really quick. And I'm also going to set it to my face. And I'm still going to use the Maybelline concealer in the T-zone. Just a quick set with the Stay All Night mist, which I will talk about in a little bit. Or I'll talk about it now. So the Stay All Night Microfine Setting Mist is a fine mist. It feels so good on the skin. It definitely stays a long time. I don't know about all night because the only time I really came close to this staying all night was at my uncle's wedding in February. I'm sorry that you have to hear that. In February. And it really did work. So, now, going to do this, our foundation, which our foundation is the Alma Beauty Flawless IRL Skin Perfecting Foundation in the shade Fair Lady T6. So I'm just putting it on top of the stipple brush. We're going to start at our neck and go up. So, this foundation is really pretty. It's definitely flawless. Gives a flawless look to the skin. The shade's off. As you see, all the time, the shade is off. But the shade works at the same time. So, this is a great foundation. It's so lightweight. It's liquidy. And I sometimes don't feel it on my face. It's not heavy. It's not a heavy foundation to where I feel it on my face all the time. There's times if I get it a little too heavy, it will feel heavy on my face. Like, I didn't get it heavy on that day I tried to do the get ready with me. And I still felt it on my face at the end of the day. that's also because it was setting for so long that it just kind of it got heavy on its own. So, and of course, I'm gonna use the sponge to help blend this out more. But this is a good foundation. I like it. It does have a little bit of a smell, but so I'm so weird, but I'm already getting an idea. I'm already like doing the idea, like getting stuff ready and like writing down everything I need for the idea I want to do. But to be able to do the idea, I need a lot of money, so it's not gonna happen until after the wedding. And for this idea, I am letting you know now. For this idea that I'm doing, I am letting you know now. I am going to be trying stuff I've already tried, I already know I like, but it's just for the sake of the video, the sake of the idea that I'm doing. Alright. So this looks good. It's starting to come together really well. So I'm going to go ahead and go back in with the L'Oreal concealer really quick. Let that marinate. Then we'll go in with the Maybelline. We're not going all over the T-zone, just because I'm also going to be blending concealer out.
Alright, my turn to stand up and stare.
So, like I said, I got to get everything written down. And when I do the video, I'm going to link each video that I got the idea from in the description box so you can watch the person's video and compare it to mine. Okay, so now we're going to set. So today, instead of actually setting, I'm gonna use the bake powder. This is a good. This bake powder is good. I like this bake powder. So we're gonna use a bake powder brush like this first. So essentially you just push it into the skin and it kind of, because you can't really bake with it. So essentially it's a bake powder, but it isn't like a completely baked powder, but it's still really good. It's a banana powder. So banana powders essentially just bake on their own. Anyways, so now we're using the setting brush and doing the rest of our face. And then we'll use the brightening powder to brighten underneath the eyes and set there. I've already talked about this powder, so, but it is a really good powder. But I'm pretty sure it has talc in it. So, no, it's talc free. So it has a translucent powder to reduce shine, which is the set, a pink powder to brighten, and a banana to bake. So now we're going to clean that up. We're going to take a little bit of the pink powder, and I have some in the thing. And now we just need like that much. We're all set. We're good. We're all set. So now we can go into bronzer. Alright, so we got the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. And we're going to use this angled blender here. I have the shade Light Bronzer. So again, it's a really light shade, but can get dark pretty fast as well. So the cheeks and where we contoured pretty much don't need as much bronzer as we did the other day in those areas, just because there's contour as well. Alright, so now we're taking the angled crease brush from Equal Tools, and we're going to use this brush to do the nose. And do a little bit of a pouty lip. Okay. So now we're going into blush, which is the Wet n Wild Color Icon blush in Pinch Me Pink. And I'm using this angled brush here to blend it. So this is a shimmery blush. So it goes over the cream blush we have on really well. Now, I'm not gonna do lips. Oh, and this the bronzer I used is really good. And I love the blush too. I'm not gonna do lips, but I'm gonna show you. It's the Wet n Wild Cloud Pout in the shade Sugarholic, which is this nice bright orange. And I've already talked about the settings. Alright. I hope you liked this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you on Tuesday for part 2. Bye!